So Gina.
Yes.
I know you're an organizer. What are your favorite residential, commercial projects to come into?
I love doing closets, and I rarely get to do just a closet anymore because we have so many large projects that we are doing. So.
On one of my other questions, on any one of the, I'm sure you come into a lot of projects that are, you would classify as hoarders, people who are hoarders.
Correct.
Have you ever walked away from a job?
Yes.
What is that like?
It's a stage 5 or a class 5, and we that is a total condemnable property, and it's no facility is working. You are totally suited up from head to toe, hazmat, and no, we're not usually gonna touch that. I have restoration companies that
I know a good demo
it.
company.
Yeah, we usually have to do that all the way. They usually have to take that completely down. So.
Okay, well thanks. Excited to hear from you.
Thanks. So, all right. So this is my little company, a call to order professional organizers, and we are growing leaps and bounds this year. It used to be me, myself, and I. For the past 7 years, we are coming up on our 9th year. And now I have 3 employees, plus my husband is coming on board part-time. So we are growing leaps and bounds. But the whole reason why I wanted to speak to you today is basically about history. Where we have been and the journey that we're going. That's what we really are when we talk about being professional organizers, is where the person's history is, how they're dealing with that history, and where their journey and their transition is going. Okay, so here's my disclaimer. I talk and I wander. I'm Italian, and if you made me have to sit still in a box, woohoo, I would not be able to do it. So, but if you don't give me audience feedback, I will make you do a 30-second dance party. And Scott over here is terrified to do them. So, can anybody raise their hands when I ask questions? Can you do that? Yeah. Okay. And can you nod your heads? All right. Okay. So, I don't know why it's doing that, Brian. All right. Have no idea why it's doing that. So, we're talking about history. So, the rock that I hatched from. I came from 4 families that all were Italian, Sicilian immigrants. So this is the Carnelli family from the turn of the century. And if you see this little guy right here, and I'll pass this around, this is my grandfather. He was the youngest of 9, and several of the kids passed, but this is my Aunt Annie, and this was her wedding day. And she was 14 years old. Wow. She lived to be 104 years old, and I had the remarkable, I got to know her, and she was wonderful. This is my great-grandparents from the Bassino side of the family. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about them. My great-grandmother was sold by her brothers at the age of 11. Into marriage. And here's the thing, she ran away when she got to America because the gentleman she was supposed to marry was 20 years older than she was. And she married this very stern looking man, and they had 13 children, and 9 of them lived. Okay? So I come from some stern stock. Maybe you would say even a little stubborn, a little driven, but my family came to Colorado, or as Tracy would say, Colorado, in the 1870s. And so we're 4th generation, my son is 5th generation Coloradoan, and we've bled this ground. We've made this ground basically work. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the strong women. My grandmother, who got married to this handsome dude who you saw in that picture in 1921, was the first graduate of what is now CSU Pueblo. And they wrote an article in 1988 about it. So my grandparents owned businesses, but 3 of her sisters also own businesses. So I come from a long line of women entrepreneurs. Family tree. But all of them have a strong community sense. So my family is originally from Pueblo, Aguilar, Trinidad. On the other side of it, some of the mining communities, we still own farms and ranches in southern Colorado. But then this is my little family. And my blonde child gets to come here from California on Sunday, and I'm really excited about that. But we've built churches. My great aunt is still working on the Democratic National Committee. I fell really far from that tree, but that's okay. There's really good debates going on. But we have a really strong sense of community. So our 3 divisions, and I'm talking about our history, are in your home, in your business, and in an emergency. And when I talked about tribes, I'm talking about the tribes that I have not only in my corporation, but where do you want to be in my corporation? Where do you fit in my tribe and in my corporation? Think about that for a second. Where does your business fit in? You guys thinking about that? Scott is terrified. Okay.
He's dancing. He's dancing today.
Okay. So we have had a tremendous shift in our business model. And I'm not going to get really into our business plan and our marketing plan and what optimal networking means, but we have been working diligently, probably for the past 9 months, on processes and procedures. Because what I am trying to do is get out of the field and working on my business, not in the business. We have investors, we have folks that are seeing this as a bigger process, because what that whole community part of it is a big deal to us. And so with that, I'm going to say growing pains. How many of you have employees? How many of you work with subcontractors? How many of you have awesome ones? And how many of you have gone, oh my gosh, this is killing me? All right, so I have had some of this. What happens is, when you're having some of that, is it gets you off the track. Would you say that's true?
Yes.
Okay. And so I have been working on having some of those mentors and collaborators in my life that I have never had those types of people. I went from me, myself, and I to having 3, 4, 5 people that I'm supposed to be responsible for and making them happy, but also getting them going all on the same train. And I'm going, but not make them crazy, because I think completely different than probably 99% of you in this room. The CDO, because it's in alphabetical order, instead of OCD, okay, happens. This thing's making me crazy. So this is how In the Home is looking a little bit differently, because we are doing a lot of move coordination. Not so much just the declutter and that kind of thing. This is our biggest profitability center right now. And if you want to know more about it, talk to me later. And we'll probably only do a 15-minute conversation, because that's what's going on. These are the quality referrals I am looking for. If you don't know them, that's okay, because I am tracking these people down. And that is who I am meeting with. So sometimes when projects blow up because of subcontractors, employees, and that kind of stuff, you know that's what happens in business. So I want to leave you, we can go over that, we've already gone over that, but this is a bit of my history. I was given this as a gift from a friend when I was 18 years old. And you can agree with it or disagree with it, but I get something out of it differently every single time. To laugh often and much, I would say I would do that. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. To earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty, to find the best in others. To leave the world a bit better, whether by healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life is breathed easier because you have lived. This is to succeed. I'm Gina Caughey with a call to order professional organizers. And instead of getting organized, be organized. Thank you.